Hi fellow assassins, today we have a special video all about Assassin's Creed Unity, and as you saw during E3, Ubisoft showed us some truly mind-blowing videos, and we here at AC Universe we've all been impressed by the trailer and the 2 gameplay demos. So with that, we have tons of information to share with you in this video, so do sit back and do enjoy. But just to give you a heads up, there may be some spoilers coming up, so you have been warned. And firstly, let's kick off with our brand new assassin Arno. Now Arno suffered from the death of his father. He feels quite guilty for his death, and so he decided to avenge his father's death. This is why he becomes a master assassin. And Arno himself, he is a very charismatic assassin with a great sense of humour, and his humour, it often comes across as sharp and witty, and this sharpness he has, it also affects the way he uses parkas and the way he fights. And most certainly Arno is more deadly than any of the previous assassins. He joined the Assassin Order to avoid corruption and suffering, and he joined the Order at the age of 21. And as an assassin, he will hunt down the conspirators, a branch of Templars who are pulling the strings of the revolution and preparing the coming of their new world. His quest is mainly about redemption because, as we said, he feels quite guilty of the loss of his adoptive father, and for those who were paying attention, you should have noticed that in the first trailer, Arno has a pocket watch. Now this pocket watch has a symbolic value for Arno because it is a memory of his dead father, and it is a symbol of Arno's responsibility in his death. We'll see the watch several times in AC Unity and we'll realise its sentimental value, for example when it gets stolen during Arno's imprisonment in the Bastille and he fights to recover it. Now let's talk about the most beautiful city in the world, which is of course Paris, and this is the biggest city ever created for an AC game. It's represented on a 1:1 scale so we can feel the height of every building, and the city has been built with the new Anvil engine. And this new engine allows us to have better animations and cinematics with a more dramatic style, and also it allows us to deal with all the next gen assets, and finally it allows Ubisoft to create a beautiful, artistic and realistic world, a true next gen world. And just to give you a little bit more information about Paris, if you remember in Assassin's Creed 3 the frontier and how big the frontier was, Paris has been develops along those lines in terms of size, so Paris is absolutely huge. And to give the life in Paris, Ubisoft wanted to improve the crowd. So we'll have thousands of NPCs on screen and they will react to your actions. There will be different factions in the game, the loyalists, the moderates and the revolutionaries. Among these factions there are nobles and the commoners. You'll also be able to meet famous characters such as King Louis XVI, Napoleon, Robespierre and many more. And as for the Templar side of things, it will be explored a lot in AC Unity, and in the game a strange entity will be encouraging the revolution to reach its objectives, which we think that this entity is Juno, but it could also be Eve, who is the symbol of the revolution. So in Paris you'll be able to see famous places such as Notre Dame de Paris, La Bastille and even the Louvre, and you'll also have tons of side quests in Paris such as murder mysteries, Paris stories, crowd events, treasure hunts, assassination contracts, just to name a few. And also the 3 main pillars of the game have been rebuilt from the ground up. Navigation has better control and precision, and as you saw the way Arno moves, it's much more fluid and feels much more natural. You'll be able to navigate through buildings, which we did have a theory about in our first video regarding AC Unity, and now Ubisoft have confirmed this. Also you'll be able to explore the catacombs, and the player now goes exactly where he wants. He can park it up or park it down. There's no need to always do a leap of faith. You can simply go down with the parker. And for the combat, the new combat system is based on timing and rhythm. In the previous AC games we couldn't attack all that many enemies at the same time. It was always a case of we attack one and counter another, but now that combat system is no more. The new combat system, you can attack many enemies at the same time with your attacking, your dodging and your parrying. And also combat will be harder as well. We will be meeting different enemy archetypes as we progress through the game. And finally, the stealth. Now we are able to be in a stealth mode by pressing a single button on the controller. In the stealth mode, Arno can crouch so he is more silent and less detectable, and there is also a cover system which will allow you to interact with the environment, and as always he can hide in the crowds of NPCs. Mission structure has also changed. Missions will no longer have a set structure. In the previous games you'd be given a defined set of goals which you would achieve, or you'd start over either at the beginning of the mission or at an appropriate checkpoint, but Assassin's Creed Unity introduces something called Adaptive Mission Mechanics, or AMM for short, which is exactly what it sounds like. To explain a little more about AMM, Amancio, the creative director of Assassin's Creed Unity, he lays out a typical scenario from the previous games. Let's say you're trailing a Templar target, and if you get spotted, that mission might be over, but that is no longer the case. We've opted for a different philosophy where we won't tell you to tail this guy, Amancio says, we'll just maybe tell you to figure out where he is going. That means you can tail your target if you like, and if you get spotted, that tail could turn into a chase. If you lose your target altogether, your goal switches to relocating your target, or if a riot happens to break out and your target is killed, then you can simply walk up to the body and you loot it to, say, find a letter that tells you where he was supposed to be going. So it really is up to the player to figure out how he's going to do things, and how he's going to go about doing things. And of course, there's much more to AMM than just this. It'll never be as simple as choosing the easiest path by, i.e. killing every target and just looting their body, because that could have serious repercussions later on in the game. Let's say if a target has been killed and obviously they end up being missing, maybe in future missions the guards will double up on patrols for the mission, so there is always a risk, and yet the game will always even itself out. Now, let's talk about another big improvement of the game, which is of course the co-op. Everybody's talking about the co-op, and there is no more competitive multiplayer in AC Unity. The co-op mode, it can be played with 2 to 4 players, and you'll have to complete scripted missions which fits into the main storyline. Each of these missions can be played multiple times, tackled in multiple ways, offering a different experience depending on how many of your brotherhood join and how they are customized. In the co-op mode, you'll have many skills that you can unlock, such as picking a lock, metamorphosis, revive and heals, etc. But there is no female assassin in the co-op. The devs did plan to add a female assassin, but they have said that they would have had to create a lot more new animations and many more voice recordings, and it would simply have taken too much time. But nonetheless, the lack of a female assassin is surely not going to have any negative impact on how good Assassin's Creed Unity will actually be. And you also have to know that all the skills you improve on in the single player are also useful in the co-op. For example, a player which has improved his eagle sense in the single player will be able to communicate the position of the guards and targets to his team, and also another player which uses his ability to change his outfit will be able to kill guards silently without being detected, and all of this will allow players to make perfect assassinations, and once you've completed the mission you simply vanish into the crowd. Whether it's in single player or in the co-op, you'll be able to customize your assassin depending on how you like to play. You can customize your weapons, equipment and your outfits, and each time you end a mission you will gain experience points which you can spend in your skills tree. And in your skills tree you have a branch dedicated to stealth, combat and navigation, so it really is up to you and how you like to play. You can also customize your assassin with new tools offering more gameplay opportunities, for example the new smoke bomb. And finally, you also have to know that at any time a friend of yours can join in on a co-op mission, and depending on that mission you'll be able to explore Paris with your friends, ranging from the iconic buildings all the way to exploring the catacombs. And we will end this video with even more good news. The present day storyline is still a part of AC Unity, but for the moment the devs are keeping quiet and they're not quite ready to talk about it, so we will have to wait. All we know is that it will be different from all previous AC games, including Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. We do hope you enjoyed this video, and as always don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to us to get all the latest new information about what will truly be an epic Assassin's Creed game. So until next time everybody, thank you very much for watching and do take care.